and Gilbert here are watching it. Gossip television, modern news and analysis. Stay tuned to DGTV.
Up next, DGTV News and Commentary, starring Darren Gilbert. This episode, Greece. No wonder the Greek Empire crumbled. Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, an unwilling, taxpayer-funded hit piece on the mayor of Toronto. Herman Cain, unnamed sources waste our time. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Pabst Lubricant Beef. I've got Pabst Lubricant on my mind. By Bullet Bourbon, smooth, great-tasting bourbon. And by Core, now available in clean core, providing your family effective low-cost energy for centuries. And now, here's the host of DGTV News and Commentary, Darren Gilbert, reporting today from Wasaga Beach, Ontario, Canada. Here's Darren.
Welcome back to DGTV News and Commentary, everyone. I apologize for the one-week hiatus. I did not broadcast last week. However, you have the luxury of doing that when you operate on a shoestring budget of zero. Try getting the CBC to learn how to broadcast like that. That'll be item 2. Item 1. Greece. If you ever wondered why the Greek Empire crumbled and imploded, you needn't look at ancient history. Look at modern history. This past week, Greek Prime Minister George Papandreou treated the world to a spectacle of silliness. As you all know, Greece is on the verge of insolvency, and the European Union has offered again to bail out Greece. And they came to an agreement, a generous agreement, which is harming Europe, and which gives Greece another chance. Prime Minister Papandreou accepted this bailout, and markets improved, and there was a feeling that maybe this would be the beginning of a solution to debt problems in Europe. But wait, the day after Papandreou accepted this to European leaders, unbeknownst to them, he then announced to Greece that he would hold a referendum on whether or not to accept the conditions of the bailout. One of the conditions are more cuts in Greece. And Greeks have been taking to the streets, breaking glass and burning buildings, because that's really good for the economy and because they don't want cuts from the government. But that referendum made European leaders say, if you hold a referendum, you can just leave the European Union and stop using the euro dollar, which scared Papandreou, and then he offered his resignation. Wait, he didn't offer his resignation. He just said he was thinking of it. And then he canceled the referendum. So all's well. But wait, then he says he wants a non-confidence motion on his own government. Somehow he survived by a vote or two, and he's still prime minister, and it looks like Greece has accepted the bailout package. But Greece this week demonstrated to the world that their prime minister is just not logical nor up to the job. Who is next? Spain, Ireland, Portugal, Italy, perhaps Ontario or California. Governments of the world need to stop overspending, get their expenses in order, and keep it permanent. Because what's happening in Greece is going to happen elsewhere, and the consumers and citizens of the world are going to feel the pinch. Item 2. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, the CBC, which broadcasted Mr. Dress-Up, the theme you're hearing in the background, that's a children's show. Well, it seems like children are operating the CBC. For those of you outside of Canada, this is a taxpayer-funded government corporation which runs a basically television broadcasting station from the East Coast to the West Coast, all over the country on satellite and on cable. And their budgets are 100 times the going rate of most television networks' budgets. They did a hit piece this past week on Toronto Mayor Rob Ford. They confronted him on his driveway in front of his family with his daughter at home as he was getting ready to leave for work to go be mayor. And there was a woman, Mary something or another. I could easily have looked up her last name, but I've never watched her program, or I think I did once and I didn't like it. And she was dressed in some weird garments, spawning a large plastic sword as she was hurling questions and insults at the mayor. The mayor went back into his house and called 911. It was then reported that 911 operators were being insulted by the mayor, and he was using the B word at them. He did later admit using the F word, but he did not use the B word, which got the Toronto Chief of Police, Bill Blair, to investigate to find out that the 911 operators were lying when they said that they were having B insults hurled at them. This was a disgusting incident which violated Rob Ford's personal space, which misappropriated taxpayer money by investing it in a hit job on the mayor on his own driveway, and there was nothing newsworthy about it. This, for a television show that's been on the air for a long time now on the CBC, called This Hour Has 22 Minutes. Well, this hour has 60 minutes, and you can take your 22 minutes, CBC, and shove it. You should be sold. Item 3. Republican candidate Herman Cain. Unnamed sources have wasted our time this past week with allegations that Herman Cain made some non-sexual overt gestures at a woman or women. And this was settled privately by the National Restaurant Association in the mid-1990s. Because it was settled, because there was a financial settlement, this should not have even made news. And the unnamed sources should not have been used unless they were named. Now everyone's time is being wasted by questions to Mr. Cain and his campaign about what happened. Well, technically, he's not supposed to comment on it because it could end up violating the terms that the National Restaurant Association made with these women. However, by not commenting on it, there was an appearance of him covering something else, something up. Therefore, he was forced to comment on it. And then by commenting on it, commentators commented that it's fair game now because he commentated on a non-disclosure agreement. Well, he had no choice. You put him in a corner. Either you say nothing and you're damned, or you say something and you're damned. So he very carefully and diplomatically said something on these matters without getting into too many specifics, and certainly without naming names, as his name was named in it. I don't know whose paws are all this, whether it's a Republican candidate, whether it's Democrats, but it is not professional because this issue had been settled privately in the mid-90s. Had it not been settled, it might have been a different story. And lastly, I said this hour is 22 minutes previously when I was talking about the CBC show. This hour does have 60 minutes. And DGTV gives out its condolences to the family and friends of longtime CBC commentator Andy Rooney, who passed away today at the age of 92. Just 1 month ago, he gave his final broadcast on 60 Minutes. He's since had minor surgery, and at age 92, even minor surgery is very major. And unfortunately, he did not make it. So condolences again. Rest in peace, Andy Rooney. That is it for this week at DGTV News and Commentary. Here's hoping you have a good week. I will be watching tonight on C-SPAN the Lincoln-Douglas-style debate between former Congressman and Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich and former businessman, current businessman, former Grandfather's Pizza chairman Herman Cain, as they debate in Texas in a one-on-one debate that is unscripted and unmoderated. That's it from here. Bye-bye.